Week 17 of the NFL. And we'll see Bryce Young. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Armadillos and the Bulls, and it comes your way next.
What better way to start off the afternoon than with some football, huh? It's time to get things started here on the NFL on EA Sports. All right, football fans, settle in because we got bragging rights on the line in this one. Kate, Scott, Brock Keyword here with you as we get set for a division rematch. Brock, one side taking the sweep, and the other looking for some revenge after how that first showdown went.
What do they say about familiarity? Familiarity does what?
It breeds something, Brock. It breeds, contempt.
It breeds contempt. Yeah. These teams don't like each other. They can fake it. They can say all the right things in the papers. They don't want any bulletin board material. But the fact is, you know your division foes better than anybody, and they know you. And that familiarity does bring a little extra.
Savor them while you can, football fans. Just 2 weeks left in our regular season as we get underway in Week 17. He stopped on the return at the 27. So out comes their offense for its first possession of the game. Bringing him out, a 13-game starter last season and his second in the NFL from Cincinnati, Desmond Ridder.
And he wonders, he's about to take his first snap today. Yeah, he took care of the football last week, Kate. That was great. No interceptions. But just the one touchdown. Be curious if he cranks up that aggressive knob today.
Throwing to start this game. Forced out to his right. He's keeping it. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a first down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
And he scampers ahead and gets 2 on the carry. Now we'll take a moment to check out his numbers on the ground from a week ago. 8 yards to go. Well, let's see how they approach this second down. Ridder setting up to throw. Escapes the pocket. He's going to keep it this time. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a first. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Now Ridder. Pass caught by Ridley. And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line. Pickup of 12 on that play. And they're going to have a first down. A-Chain running to the right. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. Kirby Joseph up for the stop. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. A-Chain again. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. That was Harold Landry making the tackle.
When you don't have great success on first down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count.
Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense. And now, well, now we let the chess match begin. The adjustments begin because we know pressure leads to sacks. And sacks in this league often leads to wins.
And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And the opening drive of the game ends in 3 points.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So here comes their offense for its opening drive. Bringing him out, coming off a tough rookie season as the top pick in the 2023 draft is Bryce Young.
While we all love to talk about the quarterback, he really wasn't at the forefront of their win last week, Kate. Kind of took a step back and let some of his teammates shine. Yeah, he made a good mark with a touchdown pass, a bad mark with an interception. Welcome to life in the NFL as a quarterback. You know he wants to make a little more noise, elevate everybody else a little better than he did a week ago.
We get a look at his rushing numbers from last week here, what he was able to do in support of that win. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Out of the gun, Young. That's brought in. It's his back, Jonathan Taylor. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. 8 yards on the gain, and the drive continues forward. New set of downs for him at the 38. Taylor gets it on 1st and 10. And this one doesn't go far. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8. Young working from the gun. It's taken in by Roma Dunze. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. They're now set for 1st and 10. They'll send him over right. To the air on 1st down. Young. Able to find Hawkinson. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line. Well, we see the medical staff headed out there now. We're going to get a timeout as they handle an injured player. Not what you want to see so close to the end of the season. A new set of downs awaits them. Here's 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Has a man. It's Brown. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
And he gets taken down immediately right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing for them on 2nd down, and now it's 3rd and 1. Shotgun snap now to Young. He's on the move. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs. They've set themselves up well for an opening drive touchdown here, Brock. It's 1st and goal. Now it's Young. Catch is made in close. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line. It's 2nd and goal. Taylor. And he runs it across. Touchdown! The Armadillos finish off their opening drive. It's a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. No doubt about that one, Brock. They softened that defense up with that lengthy opening series, and then the front just couldn't stand up to the run as they reached the end zone.
Yeah, the numbers tell you, kind of just like baseball, you love home runs, you love explosive plays, but when you can play small ball and you can keep that defense gasping on the field, you can often run it right down their throats in the red zone.
Riker there to tack on the extra point. And the Armadillos won up the opposing field goal. They start with 7 on their opening drive. Following the touchdown, they'll kick it back and see what the opposition has in store. Nixon now to return it. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Now after that play, we have somebody banged up down there. Injuries never a welcome sight so close to the end of the season. They're out to attend to him. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Back to throw now. It's Ritter. Has the connection to Ridley. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
Shotgun snap, they're gonna throw. He tucks it and takes off. And he evades any kind of trouble, but only a short gain to show for it after sliding down. 2nd down now, 7 to go. A-chain on the inside give. And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. Sent down by Cody Barton. They come to the line here, and this is 3rd and 6. Here's Ritter. That's incomplete, trying to set up the screen there. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And it's 4th down. The Bulls sending out their punt team. And we'll see how his debut offering goes. They needed 3 punts out of him in last week's loss as he sends this away. And he can't hurt you with a return if you just kick it out of bounds, right? This one flies out right around the 15-yard line. The Armadillos and Bryce Young making their way back out on offense. And he's been somebody who can get the scoring done with his legs just as much as his arm. You can see he's top 5 for touchdowns among NFL QBs. He'll get this one to Brown. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
They've got first down from the 31. Straight ahead with Taylor. And they'll bundle this up after a 4-yard gain. Brought down by Tyrann Mathieu. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Taylor again. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Brought down by Tyrann Mathieu. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. One quarter down in this all-AFC South contest. Neither side separating much so far. We'll return with more NFL action right after this. Welcome back. We're all set to start the second. Offense already out to resume its drive. They're looking down a 3rd and 3. They go again with Taylor. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. All right, set now, 1st and 10. Play action now, Young. Flushed out of the pocket. Look at all this time. And defenders are there to get him at the line. They're on the stop, Larry Ogunjobi. 2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Taylor now, up the middle. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. They get about 4 there, need a little more than that now on 3rd and 6. Rush coming for Young. Escapes the puck, and they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
You could put that sack right into the coverage sack category. You can see the quarterback, he's scanning, right? He's going through his progressions. 1, 2, 3, nobody's open, and then bam, sack lunch.
On 4th down, they'll bring out Blake Gillikin to punt it away. And this will be his first effort of the contest. He bunted 3 times in the win last week, and this one is away. Fields this at the 19. And he's going to get a modest amount on that return before he ends up out of bounds. The Bulls are ready to go on offense, and we'll get a look at Deebo Samuel. And he's in the midst of a phenomenal season. Right now you can see he's 2nd in the league in touchdown receptions. Ritter looking to throw. Komet brings it in. And he's going to be out of bounds just before reaching the 30.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully...
Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the defense is energized following that stick for a loss.
You know, when we watch the Combine each and every single year, I hope you get good enough to understand as a football fan, watch the big guys' first 10 yards. Don't watch the ends and the linemen run 40. Watch their first 10 because that's the most critical. And that defensive end showed...
Oh, they're on him, and he's dropped again. And now we'll get a pause here. Trainer's headed out to take a look at an injured player. Let's hope it isn't anything that's going to keep him from finishing this season strong. So they bring Tressway back out there for another punt. And this will be his second effort of the contest. Punt meets him at the 28. And he's brought down before the return gets far. 58 yards on the punt there. And they're going to take over possession. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Young on the play action. Bails out of the pocket quick. Oh, look at this. Here he goes. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. It goes as a pickup of 37 yards. And that'll give him a first down.
Obviously, a defense wants to take away all the reads and prevent any kind of big throw for the first down. Fine. Well, this QB, he'll just lower his head and gash the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game.
That's complete. Here's Brown. And he stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21. 2nd and 3 now. From the 21. He finds Brown right side. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop. He gets 6 on that play. And that gives them the first. From the red zone now. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line. Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Sticking to the air, it's Young. Buys time, rolling right. And he carries it in for the touchdown. The Armadillos now lead by 10. It's a Bryce Young touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, not to be the best call he made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith. Right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
Nixon now to return it. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Bulls and Desmond Ridder out on offense once again. And he sure has put on that chef's hat to dice up their defense early in this one. Quite the appetizer that he's prepared to what could be a great overall performance. On 1st down, they're going to start out with Achane. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Dax Hill up for the stop. Well, we see the medical staff headed out there now. We're going to get a timeout as they handle an injured player. Not what you want to see so close to the end of the season. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Throwing here, Ridder. Rolling left, buying some time. He's on the move. They strike for 23 yards. And they'll have 1st down.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
On the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. They'll run here. It's Zach Moss who gets it. And he's going to run this down to the 36-yard line. Good rip on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 2. Receiver in motion going left. Handoff on 2nd and short. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Can I have a moment, Kate? just a moment to marvel at how well they reacted to the play on defense. They were all over it from the start, getting behind the line to blow up a play that how many times do we see as highlight reel touchdowns going the other way?
And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I don't know what it is, Kate, but I love third down runs. I really do. I know the receivers don't always like it because it's money down and they want the ball, but a third down run for a first down can be so demoralizing to that defense.
It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great block in the spring of guys hitting blocks downfield and a back who can show off his wheels.
First down from the red zone. Has his man, it's Ridley. And he's going to be taken down near the 8-yard line. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards him with a first and goal. Trying to run it in, Achane. And they'll make this stop after a small push to the 5. They're 3 yards closer to the end zone. Here comes second and goal. Now he'll throw off the play fake. And the connection made in the end zone. Touchdown! The Bulls make it a one-score game in the first half. Calvin Ridley with the touchdown. Well, Brock, it wasn't hard to see why they botched on that play fake. Even our camera operator was fooled into thinking it was a run, but certainly made it easier to connect on that touchdown pass.
And that's all about the attention to details, Kate. Really is. The offensive line getting their pads down. The running back and quarterback at that mesh point, making it look exactly like a run. You do the details on the front end, and the play-action game rewards follow on the back end.
That one splits the uprights. And the Bulls cut the lead down to 4. We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Now after that play, we have somebody banged up down there. Injuries never a welcome sight so close to the end of the season. They're out to attend to him. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Young. He finds Odunze running the slant. 40! Hits the 20! He makes it in for the touchdown! The Armadillos now lead by 10. It's a Odunze touchdown! Well, Brock, it speaks to the constant threats that these slant routes pose that we aren't all too surprised when one of them breaks for something much bigger than its design, right? And it ends just like it did in a touchdown.
Yeah, Kate, that's exactly right. And the great quarterback coaches, they demand of their QBs to put it right on the money. Because when you hit that exact spot, when you don't slow your receiver down and he can catch and run, especially with the elite athletes at that position in this league, big plays follow.
That one right down the middle. And the Armadillos drive their lead to 11. And after they reach the end zone, they'll kick it off and turn things over to the defense. Set to return, this is Braxton Berrios. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Bulls are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And at the pace he's begun the game throwing the football, Brock, he is in line for a special type of performance if they need to keep throwing it until the end. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That throw finds Komet. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. So we're at the 2-minute warning here from Austin. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Now Ritter. He's on the move. Oh, he was on the move, but so is the defense, and they take him down. Another try following the sack. Escapes the pocket. He's running with it. He picks up 28 on the play. And it sets up first down.
That is so demoralizing for a defense. You lock things down in coverage. You do everything right on the back end, only to see the quarterback escape, evade the pressure, and get that first down anyway. Ugh.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Throwing now from the gun. Pass caught by Ridley. And he gets down to the 24 before he stopped.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
This time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
That is now the 5th sack this offense has had to endure in the first half alone. We're on a double-digit pace here, and I'll tell you what, I know how these defensive coordinators work. They can feel the blood in the water. They are not going to stop getting after this quarterback until this offense can find a way to protect itself.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Tried getting it to Calvin Ridley. And that brings up 4th and short. Daniel Carlson on for this field goal try. This 42 yards from the right hash. And that one is good. A little longer, but no problem at all. And that brings the deficit back within a score, 8 points.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm and start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Dortch now to return it. He stopped on the return at the 27. Well, we've already seen some nice plays here, and we're going to see plenty more before this ends. But you might be thinking, with plays like that, my guys' ratings should be better. Well, you're not alone. You got a chance to let the Madden Ratings Hotline know just what you're thinking. Give them a call, 1-844-MADDEN-1, and make your case for who should get a boost. And they get to it as he was trying to make something happen. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Never a great look when your quarterback's picking himself up a few seconds into a drive. They're going to need a lot more fight on 2nd down and a whole lot of yardage to get this back on track.
He'll throw it. Has a man. It's Brown. And he'll get it up to the 44. We've reached halftime, and it's the Armadillos enjoying the lead here in Austin. As we'll kick you over now to Orlando for the EA Sports Halftime Report with Jonathan Coachman. Coach, take it away.
All right, Kate, we'll get back to you and Brock in a bit. For now, plenty of early action in the 1 o'clock Eastern window to get you caught up on. So let's get to it. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And that one is still scoreless as they play in the 2nd quarter. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. We saw a strong first half out of the Alabama man and former #1 selection, Bryce Young. He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break. Both these teams making their way out of the tunnel, and we're ready for the 2nd half. And for the call, we send it back to Kate Scott and the other blonde bomber, Brock Hewitt.
Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Dortch now to return it. Their offense taking the field now for the opening drive in the 2nd half. Certainly had no issue scoring, but their opponents have been right there with them, so they could really use some more points on this drive. Quick throw, right side, complete to start this drive. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the 34, Hopkinson reels it in. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the first down. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Here's Young on 1st and 10. That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right. He was looking for T.J. Hawkinson, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now it's Young. Has the connection to Odunze. And he's brought down for a loss.
You'll hear defensive coaches all the time really ask their players to pull the trigger. Read, react, diagnose, and when you see it, go fire away. And that's exactly what the defense does to take away that screen.
Getting out to his left. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. Gets out of harm's way after stringing together some nice yards on that run.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play, and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
The Armadillos sending out their punter. Ooh, it's away, but he knows he mishit that one. Headed for the sideline. And that gets out of bounds down inside the 20. Looks to be at about the 17-yard line. The visitors send running back Devon Achane getting back to work. And his production is carried over into this second half. He keeps on running well, even with the workload they placed upon him. Back to throw now, it's Ritter. That's caught, Devon Achane. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. Dax Hill up for the stop.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. The rookie from Georgia in on that tackle. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Ritter setting up to throw. Catch is made down the right sideline. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down, and nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Here's Ritter. Chased out to his right. Now he takes it. They get 22 on that one. And that'll be a first down.
Man, I don't ever want to be a defensive coordinator. They do so many things right to take away the pass, and then what happens? Well, you get a quarterback that lowers his head, gashes the defense with one of the best runs of the game. You take away the pass, but you can't stop the QB run.
And he runs this one in for the touchdown. The Bulls start the second half with some needed points. Devon Achane with the touchdown. So great work by the running back there, Brock. Found just a little bit of space, and he took advantage all the way for 6.
Big time. I mean, so big time. You know, and you hear running back coaches, Kate, say this. They'll say slow to, explode through. And he explodes all the way for the touchdown.
He's throwing for it. From the pocket. And now down he goes. He's sacked, and they're unable to tie this game. Down 2, they went for the tie right there, partner, but a game defense able to stop them and hang on to this narrow lead.
I don't hate that call, Kate. In fact, this is one of those gray areas. If it's the 4th quarter, that's absolutely the right decision. 3rd quarter, as I said, kind of a gray area where maybe you're chasing points. Either way, you're behind, and your defense now has to rise to the occasion.
The Armadillos ready for their next series. Led on offense by their quarterback. 1st and 10 now from the 30. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Taylor. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Junior Colson bringing an end to that play. And now we'll get a pause here. Trainer's headed out to take a look at an injured player. Let's hope it isn't anything that's going to keep him from finishing this season strong. So now here's 3rd and 5. Young working from the gun. He's on the move. Oh, he's going to run for it. And he slides down with enough to pick up that first. Big gain, 14 on the play. And it'll give him a first down.
Well, there was no sense in taking a risk down the field when a first down was just a run away. They'll get to reset now and figure out just how they want to attack a new set of downs.
Shotgun, handoff to Taylor. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4. Shotgun snap now to Young. This finds Downs. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. They have themselves another 1st and 10. This is Taylor. Broke through the tackle. And they bring him down at the 25-yard line after surrendering some good yardage. Well, we see the medical staff headed out there now. We're going to get a timeout as they handle an injured player. Not what you want to see so close to the end of the season. 2nd and 3 now. Now Young. Pass cut by Adunze. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. From the red zone now. Looking end zone, but touchdown denied. Knocked away, incomplete.
That's a nice job there by the linebacker. He kind of looks like a cornerback on that, doesn't he? Perhaps those cover guys are going to have a little fun with him in practice this week because he looked like the DB right there, swatting the completion.
And he'll take this only to about the 11 before going down. Only 2 yards on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 8. Young looking to throw. Escapes the pocket. And they take this in for the score. The Armadillos push this to an 8-point game. It's a Bryce Young touchdown. His 3rd total score this game. Great work there by the quarterback. The play broke down. Didn't really have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, Brock, the best call he could have made.
Yeah, and you can do it in different ways in today's NFL, right? The Tom Brady's just recently retired. He did it with his brain. He did it with his mind. But you've got to be able to improvise, as you said. You got to be able to create when a play breaks down. And when you can put 6 on the board, man, does that infuse your offensive group with confidence.
They put a touchdown on the board, and now they'll send it away. Barrios now to return it. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Now outruns their offense to take over. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And, man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. And into a sea of bodies he goes. Looks like they'll get 3 out of it. 2nd down now, 7 to go. Throwing here, Ritter. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Ritter. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop it. And the defense comes through. That's going to back them up and bring up 4th down.
How many times we see these coaches after games sit there at the press conference. They pull out the stat sheet, and when they do, they look for some anomalies. And today, well, this head coach is going to be very proud of a defensive effort, getting after the quarterback 6 different times. 6 sacks, and they've had a heyday in the backfield.
Hunter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. Taken right at the 40. And a good return as he gets him up across midfield and into enemy territory. The Armadillos headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. 1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. And you may as well call him a constant headache that this defense has had to deal with all game long. I mean, they game plan to slow down his passing work, but it's been his rushes that have really broken the spirit of this unit.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who took away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
On target to his man Taylor. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
It may not look like much on the stat sheet, but this is kind of good on good. An offense gets a completion, not going backwards, and the defense, well, they rallied.
Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they took him down. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down. They'll send out the punting unit. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to set this one forward. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. It's fielded at the 14. And he gets him out of the deep part of their half. This is out across the 20. The visitors back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And as some running lanes have closed, he's just found some new ones, continuing to hit this defense more good numbers well into this 2nd half. Ritter to throw. That one falls to the turf, couldn't hang on, it's incomplete. Intended target was Calvin Ridley. And now it's 2nd down. Ritter looking to throw. Aguilar with the grab. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Oh, and they're going to have the fullback trying power for it. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
Hey, I'll be honest with you, Kate. They say that football is cyclical. Well, I sure hope we see the fullback come back. There's just something about that guy, something about that position. And he just showed you right there, going to get you a 1st down. They can be difference makers, too.
So we hit the end of the 3rd quarter. This one not out of reach quite yet, but it is a 2-score game to begin the 4th. First down, ball at the 36. They go play action here. Able to find Achane. And he's going to be brought down at the 42.
When there's heat, that blitz coming off the snap, that QB's eyes, you could see it right away. He got to his check down in a hurry. But, Kate, here's the key. Quarterback and running back have to be on the same page. The two were right there, and then netted some positive yards.
He keeps it and takes off. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 28 out of that play, and it'll give him a 1st down.
Well, I can promise you, that was the goal from the moment he took off. He kept his eyes locked on the chains, and it's almost like he had a spidey sense. He knew exactly where to get in order to move the sticks and get that critical 1st down.
1st and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. He's on the move. He calls his own number again. And he protects himself with a slide there after a decent gain. 2nd and 3 now. From the 23. Loses control of the interception in the end zone. Could have taken away some potential points, but instead, new life. 3rd down. Trying to get it with the option here. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line. Now after that play, banged up down there. Injuries never a welcome sight so close to the end of the season. They're out to attend to him. Up to the line, and they're set. 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Cut near the goal line. Touchdown! All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need a defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
Carlson to tack on the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Bulls lead down to just 2. We're down to a 2-point difference as they send the kick away. Fielded at the 7. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. And this is a good representation right here of what the playoffs will look like come the postseason in 2 weeks. Still a few things to finalize, though, which makes this week and those divisional games next week incredibly important. And he's only able to power this forward for about 3 yards.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Just 1 yard on the play, though. That leaves him with 3rd down and 6 to go. Out of the gun, Young escapes the pocket. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down. Punt team on the field. Blake Gillikin will kick it away. And he sends this away. Definitely his best kick of the game thus far. And he can't evade the coverage team for much. They stop him before he gets really anything on that return. The offense being led back out by its quarterback as they get geared up for their next possession. And this is the type of game that's going to get people talking when people look at the numbers that he's posted running with it. They'll start the drive with Achane. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
Flush down out to his left. Now here he goes. And now we'll get a pause here. Trainer's headed out to take a look at an injured player. Let's hope it isn't anything that's going to keep him from finishing this season strong. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Now Ritter. Has a man. It's a chance. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Here's Achane up the middle. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. A gain of 4 for them. That sets up 3rd and 7. He'll throw it. Got him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out. And it's a turnover. The defense has it.
3rd down, you could see he may have been trying to simply do too much to help his side. It loosened his hold on the ball and gave that defense a chance to knock it free. Instead of facing 4th down, they're off the field completely.
Now this offense getting set to work here. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Throwing now, following the turnover. He's on the move.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
Second down carry for Taylor. Has some space inside the 15. And he heads out of bounds. Great pickup on that run. And even 20 yards on the play, and it awards them with a 1st and goal. Now a toss play, Taylor. And he won't challenge for the goal line. The stop made at the 4. Give him a couple on the run, and it's now 2nd and goal. Defense shows blitz. Young escapes out to the... Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And that sack going to cost them some yardage.
You get into the red zone and every detail matters. It matters on the whole 100 yards. But, Kate, once you get inside this red zone, it is so critical. And let's tip our cap to the defense on the details, creating that sack.
He gets a little something out of it before sliding to a stop.
That is quarterback play 101. Maybe not the first chapter of it, but, man, is that important. Getting downfield, get what you can with your legs, then most importantly, protect yourself. Get down and don't take any extra contact.
A lot of pressure on this kick for Will Reichert. High percentage look for him here from the left hash. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And now their lead will push out beyond the field goal.
So after that make, a field goal won't cost them a lead, but a touchdown still ties it, or likely probably puts them down a point. Okay, this is one of those moments where the defense now has clarity. They know what the stakes are and what they have to defend.
Finds some space, he's past the 30. They'll begin from the 36 as the returner's brought down. The visitors returning their offense and this running back to the field. And get that big old marker out. Cross a major number off his roadmap after that last drive. He's reached one of the marks that every back strives to hit at some point during the season. That throw finds Komet. And he's brought down, but there's some laundry on the field. Offense liked how that play went. They choose to decline the penalty. Running with A-Chain out of the gun. And he'll make his way down to the 16-yard line. Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up. From the 16. The throw is caught. And they're going to get this down to the 4 before being stopped. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out. And the plunge up the gut yields nothing there. Nothing doing that time, and it leaves them on 2nd and goal. Throwing now from the gun. Toward the side of the end zone, but that one's incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6. And now they're left with 3rd and goal. He's back to throw. Rolling left, buying some time. And the ground game works for the touchdown. The Bulls take a 4th quarter lead. A lot of pressure on him in that moment, Brock. Find a way to score. Don't let it go to 4th and goal. And he finds a way to come through and gets in the end zone for 6.
And how about the other side? Beating a defense right there as well. That group who was so close to pulling off the goal line stand, yet all that motivation wasn't enough to stop him on 3rd and goal.
Back to throw now, it's Ritter. And it falls incomplete. Can't make that pass work. So as a result, they will not be able to push their new lead to a field goal. Okay, Brock, dialing up another 2-point call, and you remember when your friends didn't have a voicemail and it would just ring and ring and ring? It's still ringing. Falls short again of reaching that end zone.
Yeah, this defense is not doing very good between the 20s or even in the red zone, but they do find a way to rise up. This is always my challenge with being super aggressive, is why give that defense something to feel good about coming off the field? I could put 6 on the board.
The offense headed back to the field. They find themselves down here in the 4th after that touchdown. This game could end up depending on how they respond right here. 1st and 10. The screen pass falls incomplete. This one intended for the running back. And it's going to be 2nd down. Young working from the gun. And that one looked like an interception for a second. Instead, it's incomplete. Defender couldn't hang on to it. 3rd down coming up. Looking to throw. Escapes the pocket. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down. We're down to the 2-minute warning here in Austin. Armadillos trail by just 1. Well, best of luck here. It's 4th and a considerable distance. Looking to throw. They can't connect as the coverage comes through with a 4th down stand.
You know, Kate, I don't think I've ever met a defender that cares. All they want to do is get off the field. Doesn't matter if it's a drop pass, deflection, breakup, even an interception. Challenged by the offense to get one more stop to get off the field, and that's exactly what they did.
They're out and set. 1st and 10. They run the counter to Achane. And he maneuvers through the middle for a gain of 4. And right away we get a timeout from the defense. 1:51 to go. 2nd and 6 coming up here. They'll stick with Achane. And he's stopped down at the 16 after a small gain. Timeout taken by the defense. Their 2nd. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Quickly looking left, and it's complete. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down. He goes to a knee as time winds down in this one.
There's still some time to bleed off the clock, but the important factor is that the defense is helpless to stop it. You could just run that clock down as far as you're able and take off every single second.
Achane on the inside give. And that hit stops him in his tracks. No gain on 2nd and goal, so they need 10 here on 3rd. This is why it's called a victory formation. He takes a knee and the seconds tick away towards a win.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
The kick is good. He got it. And now their lead will push out beyond the field goal. So something to be proud of, Brock, as they come away with the win. And they take not just the victory, but some serious year-long bragging rights home with them after this one, as they finish off the sweep of their division rivals. So for my partner Brock Heward and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Bulls winners, as we say so long from Austin.